UK border agency is at war with smugglers in the ports and airports.
You don't have to say anything.
Get that out of my face.
Coming up, the dogs in Gatwick sniff out a suspect with a dodgy case.
Basically, in a nutshell, okay, I think you have drugs in your baggage.
Cocaine.
A search in Manchester goes a bit too deep for this passenger.
Can all these go back in, yeah?
What's up? Oh, right, oh, this is your eyes. This is your private collection, is it?
We just have a quick
And
look at your
things
bags,
get
then.
ugly when a family are told their cigarettes are going to be seized.
No, a lot of them. I'm not. This is me.
In Manchester, a radio message has come in from a pilot of an EasyJet flight. 2 female passengers are suspected of smoking cannabis in the plane's rear toilet.
Who is it, blonde? I'll go upstairs, mate. All right, I'll go upstairs.
The pressure is now on for sniffer dog Amy to identify the suspects amongst the crowd.
Stay single file to the right, please, as you're coming through, thanks. Just stay to the right and keep walking past. Ames, in here. Just lower that bag for me, please. Amy.
Amy is looking for drugs, but UK border officer Phil is trained to spot suspicious behaviour.
Thanks very much. There was a girl who didn't really want to. I don't know whether she had a small handbag. If it was her, she wasn't too keen on lowering it for the dog.
It wasn't a definite indication, so Amy boards the plane to search the seats for any drugs ditched by the suspects.
Hey, am I in about the general area where she was sat? Yeah. Dog isn't pinpointing any particular areas, she's just very busy around all those seats. Staff have been on already and done a search of the whole area. What there could be, the dog could just be picking up the residual smell of whatever she's been doing, been taking.
With no physical evidence left on the plane, the officers will stop and search the 2 suspects for any cannabis. Unexpectedly, the officer gets a hit for cocaine.
It's quite noticeable that this particular one wasn't keen for the dog to go anywhere near her. And by the sounds of it, they are getting traces off them at the moment for cocaine. So the officers are just doing further investigation on that at the moment.
Confronted with the evidence, one of the girls admits to having taken cocaine, but with such strong traces, officers are still highly suspicious.
Well, still getting hits absolutely everywhere for coke. That's the thing. You said you used some last night, yeah. First luggage. I also got hits on the plane for coke. So from the dog where you were sat.
On the plane?
Yeah, if you both, yeah. Your seats on the plane, okay? So, what I'm going to do, we'll take you into, you want to take one of these rooms, we'll get someone to repack the bag and bring it in. Come in here with me.
Officers have no jurisdiction over drug use abroad, but they suspect the girl may be carrying cocaine internally. It's a serious crime with potentially lethal consequences.
Also, I've got suspicion that you could have drugs internally somewhere, because there's none in your bag.
You crazy man.
No, that's what it is. So, what I have to do here, okay, I'm arresting you, okay, on suspicion of being involved with the illegal importation of controlled substance, cocaine. Okay, it's okay on this one. I have to arrest you. You do not have to say anything, okay, but it may harm your defence. If you fail to mention something in the question you later on, anything you do say will be given in evidence. Do you understand that?
Right.
The girls will now be searched and x-rayed.
What happens when you don't find anything?
If nothing's found, I'm sure you'll be arrested and go on your way.
Their ordeal is far from over. In Gatwick, officers are x-raying the bags off a flight from Turkey. It's outside the EU and a regular source for smuggling cheap cigarettes. But the team have their doubts about this particular flight.
It's a Saga Holidays flight, which means it tends to be the older generation. If we get cigarette seizures off this, I'll eat my tie.
But straight away, the officers find over 4,000 cigarettes. They then head upstairs to see who collects the bags. They watch as the passengers walk straight through, nothing to declare. It's at this point the offence has been committed.
You've come into the green nothing to declare channel, which means you've got no more than 1 litre of spirits each, one packet of 200 cigarettes each, as long as you're over 17.
Well, I've got 200 cigarettes, but...
How many have you got?
I've got 2,000 myself. And you've got 2,000 of our own brain.
We just
It's
have
a
a quick look at your
clear-cut
bags,
offence, and the man won't be happy with the result.
By coming into the green channel, over the allowances, you have committed an offence.
Right, go for it.
So, because you've come into the green channel, the penalty will be today is for me to seize all the cigarettes from you.
Take the don't you?
No.
If I can go over to France,
Yeah, but France...
I can legally go over to France with a 7.5-tonne lorry, fill it up with 1 maker fags and come through legally, and I can't be done for it. Doesn't matter how many you bring through.
Yeah, but that is because it's going to Europe and tax has been paid into Europe. By buying them in Turkey, it's outside the European... Yeah, but not to the European Union.
That was our fault.
Yeah, but the problem is you've come... Turkey's not in the European Union.
Turkey's in Europe.
But it's not in the European Union.
Well,
and by not being in the European Union, that means tax is not paid into the European Union, which is why you have an allowance of 200.
The man
Anything
thinks
over that
he knows
must
his
be declared
geography,
in the red
but
channel.
he clearly doesn't know the law.
But you
It's
better
as simple
arrest
as
me,
that.
because I'm taking my bags with me.
You won't be taking your cigarettes with you.
Who's stopping me?
Go all the way through.
No. At the end of the day,
I'm not being rude.
at the end of the day, it's my hard-earned money that's bought them, and she wants to take them so they can
We should be able
chuck
to
them in
now
the
pay the
incinerator.
tax
It's
on
wrong.
them. We've said, OK, that's fair enough, hands up. We'll pay the tax.
Totally
That's
wrong.
unfair.
Yeah, but you've committed an offence. But
It's
you've
not
committed an
an
offence by coming into the green channel. It's an outright offence.
Where they come from?
Turkey.
Turkey. You're at 200
In the
each.
European...
That's it.
I've come from Europe.
Makes no
But
difference.
not the European Union.
200
It's the difference.
is what
The
your
man
limit is.
decides to take
Turkey's
the law
outside
into his
the
own
EC.
hands.
I'm going round the red channel, sorry.
No, you're too
No.
late. Come down there.
You've come into the green channel.
Right, I'll take them.
No.
200 are allowed to be mine.
No,
You've
by
just said
coming
I'm
into
allowed 200.
but by coming into
lost
the
them.
by coming into the green
Give me the
channel.
paperwork, arrest me.
Get a bag.
No, f*** them. A lot of them. I'm not... This is my own money. It's my own money, which I've got ended up from. This was a family holiday. I paid for it from my Danny Grand stepbed legacy, and they're going to take even more money from me. Bad enough, the government ripping you off and inheritance tax and every other tax, and then these do the same.
Taking cigarettes from tired passengers can often boil over into angry confrontations. Sam hopes she's seen the last of this man's temper. Back in Manchester, the suspected smuggler's plan is beginning to unravel, and their attempt to dispose of the evidence has failed.
Okay, right, no worries.
What was the flight?
One of the officers found a package by the bench, which we think one of the girls has actually dropped. It was found to be cannabis in a sock. He's actually looked, and within the cannabis he's found a small plastic bag, like a deal bag, containing some white powder. We suspect that to be cocaine. The girl who was travelling with her, the officers have conducted a search of person. During the search of person, they found another package. It's a sock containing cannabis. They weren't sure whether they could feel something else, so they upgraded the search to a strip search. They've done a strip search now, and they're quite happy she's got nothing on her person.
But having detected such high hits for cocaine, the girls are led away for a full body X-ray. Class A smugglers face a maximum of life in prison.
Just get in there and sit down, please. You're best not talking to each other. If you talk to each other, we'll have to take you one at a time, and it'll take longer.
Dealing with suspected drug swallowers is also stressful for the officers. If the girls do have packages internally, it's a life-threatening situation.
By using the machines we have in the green channel, we've found very high traces of cocaine. So we believe they could well have concealments of cocaine inside them. We just simply put the passenger on the machine and it passes the person through the machine. We instantly get an image on screen that we can examine, and if we can see packages there, then they're back up to custody while we await the packages to pass through the system.
Find anything?
Don't know.
What do you think?
You tell us. We've got to be 100% sure there's nothing up there. 'Cause if we say there's nothing there, and if it is something like cocaine, that when the package does split, you're talking a matter of seconds before you suffer a fatal overdose. So we want to be 110% sure there's nothing there before we say, yeah, it's negative. If you put your feet on them marks, hold on to either side, it's be a couple of seconds and it'll start moving.
Thankfully, both scans are clear, but the girls are still in trouble. 2 weeks later, a court decided the drugs were for personal use only, and they got a 12-month suspended sentence for the attempted importation. And back in the Gatwick search bay, things seem to have calmed down a bit.
Keep your back down, mate. I'm not going to anyone. Because if I did, it would be you looking at me like that. No, believe you me, you'd be on your with it. No. Well, he's standing there.
There's cigarettes at the end of the day. Let them do what they want to do. We're going to burn them anyway. Forget about it.
Well, we were going to burn them one by one.
Forget about it.
The gentleman wasn't too happy about the fact that I was seizing his cigarettes, but it is a right offence coming in from Turkey. You are only allowed one packet of 200 cigarettes. You have to be over the age of 17, and they were in very much in excess of their allowances.
Good evening.
It was until we met you.
Coming up, sniffer dogs at Gatwick make a significant discovery in the bottom of a suitcase.
Basically, in a nutshell, okay, I think you have drugs in your baggage.
Cocaine.
At Gatwick Airport, a flight has just landed from Port of Spain, St. Lucia. UK border officers need to closely monitor flights from the Caribbean, a known source area for cocaine. Sniffer dogs are a powerful tool in fighting smugglers, and one bag in particular gets rookie drug dog Barney excited.
I took Barney to where a Caribbean flight was landing, and he gave a really nice indication on a passenger's bag.
This bag is yours and this bag is yours? Yes. Right, there's things that you cannot bring in this country, okay? Things that you cannot bring in. You have no guns. Guns, like shoot, bang bang. No guns, no drugs. Right? No cocaine or anything like that. Right? Sure? Okay. Has anybody given you anything to bring back? You're carrying parcels of gifts for people.
It's the given, it's the...
That's not what I'm asking, right? Just put that on there for me.
The passenger is acting nervous, and Warren decides to do some background checks.
I mean, he's quite a presentable bloke that you probably wouldn't look at too much, but when Darren's come up and said that the dog's indicated on the bag, obviously you focus on that bloke. When you focus on him in the queue, he's quite nervous, and he's showing signs that he doesn't really want to be there. He wants to be straight through and out. And obviously when he's been intercepted as well, he's showed out there as well. He's fiddling with the bag. He doesn't want to make eye contact with you. And then from initially speaking really good English, he doesn't seem to understand what I'm saying to him. So yeah, it's all there.
The man's bag is put through an X-ray to check for irregularities, and straight away it confirms Barney's suspicions.
Right, you need to listen to me very carefully, okay? I know your English is not good. Okay, I'm arresting you on suspicion of being involved in the illegal importation of a controlled drug. Okay, you don't have to say anything, but it may harm your defence if you do not mention when questioned something which you later rely on in court. Anything you do say may be given in evidence. Do you understand what I've said to you?
No, I understand.
Well, basically, in a nutshell, okay, I think you have drugs in your baggage, and that's why you've been arrested.
What?
I think you have drugs in your bag, in here, okay, so you've been arrested for that, yes. We'll explain it a bit more later on, okay?
Warren has uncovered a false bottom in the suitcase, but with the man now claiming not to understand English, it's going to take a while to get to the bottom of the story. At Manchester, border officers in the immigration area have asked Officer Liz to search a man hoping to enter the UK on a tourist visa, as they have concerns over how long he plans to stay.
Okay. This gentleman's coming into the country to meet somebody he's met on the internet. It's a girlfriend, and he's coming into the UK to see her for the first time.
And how long is it you're here for?
6 months.
6 months. And why have you come to the UK?
To eventually try to get married to my girlfriend. I proposed to her over online.
All right. And she accepted? Oh, excellent.
The reason that we're going to search for his bags now is because the immigration officers have questioned him upstairs when they took his passport off him when he entered the UK. Because of what he said, his reason for staying here, that's why they want us to search his bags to see if there's any documents in there that's going to indicate he's going to stay in the UK for longer than what is intimating.
And when did you meet your girlfriend?
Back in October.
October 08? Yeah. Just gonna put that on there.
The man is being unusually candid, but his story has all the hallmarks of an immigration scam.
All right, so you met her in October 08. Where was that?
On an online game.
Oh, in an online game?
Yeah.
Oh, right. What game was that?
Second Life.
Second Life?
Yeah.
What's that all about? What kind of game's that? Is it like
it's a role-playing game.
All right.
Just a bunch of pictures.
Okay. Right, so you've proposed to someone you've never even met.
The man's honesty is starting to get him into trouble.
Talking on webcam long enough.
So when you get married, when do you plan to get married?
Well, we're gonna try to give it about a month or two, and then we're gonna, if we're still madly in love with each other, we're gonna go ahead and do it.
Okay.
And then we're gonna apply for the marriage visa.
Right, and where will you live? Will you live here or in the States?
I'll live with her.
Here.
But this is against immigration rules, and unless he begins to explain himself, the romance may have to remain online.
That's a pair of panties she sent me.
All right, it's okay. All right, this is the movie collection.
Yeah.
It seems the customs search is starting to go a bit deeper than the man would like.
What's that? Oh, right, oh, this is your eyes. This is your private collection, is it? That's
yeah,
okay.
My dad tried stealing from me.
Got a bit of cannabis in there. There's a bit of weed there, is it?
Liz discovers what could be cannabis.
Know where it came from.
And suddenly
Yeah, I
the
mean, we're
man
on
becomes
social, yeah.
evasive.
Is that what it is?
I'm not really sure.
You're not sure? Okay. You just staying on there for a minute?
The man's bid to meet his fiancée looks on increasingly shaky ground. In Gatwick, the suspected smuggler has been taken to the custody suite. Meanwhile, Warren investigates what's hidden inside the suitcase.
It's pretty well done, actually. Basically, you can see that it's got like a false bottom in it. What we want to do is just to spike it and test whatever's underneath. Let's see what we've got. You can see, got like a white powder or paste on the end there. It's like a field test for cocaine.
Warren has found a white powder
on there
hidden
once we
deep
put the
in the
liquid on.
structure of the suitcase.
Yeah, you can see it starting to go blue already. So we've got cocaine in there.
And it's a big haul for the team.
How much do you think's there, Warren?
3 kilos.
3?
2, 3.
That's good.
The man has to be held while a Bulgarian translator is found. The officers are now able to communicate the seriousness of the crime.
Right, for that reason, okay, he was arrested on suspicion.
И поради тази причина сте арестуван по подозрение,
Being involved in illegal importation.
че сте бил замесен в нелегален внос
Of a controlled drug.
на контролирано наркотик. Неконтролиран наркотик.
Наркотик?
Наркотик.
Какъв наркотик стана?
What drug do you mean?
It doesn't really matter at the moment, okay?
В момента няма значение за какъв наркотик става въпрос.
Не, смисъл такъв, откъде изляза?
Right,
този наркотик?
hang on 1 minute. Basically, all we're getting doing here, okay?
Where did it come from?
Well, I don't know. He'll have to explain that, and he'll get the chance to explain that later.
Ще ви се даде възможност да обясните това по-късно.
Okay, all we're concerned with at the moment is him realising or understanding why he's been arrested, okay?
В момента просто единственото, което трябва да разберете, защо сте бил арестуван.
For rookie drug dog Barney, it's his first seizure, and he's in line for a big reward from handler Darren.
I'm really pleased. He's a new dog to me, but he's doing really well. Ready? I think he's a star in the making. Good lad.
Back in Manchester, immigration have asked Customs Officer Liz to examine the bags of a passenger from the US with a suspicious story and some suspicious baggage.
This guy's just come over from America. He's come to see his internet girlfriend who he's never met before. It sounds like he's intending to stay, so it sounds more like an immigration issue than from our point of view. I've just been looking, he's got some adult DVDs, but I've just found a little tiny, just little residue, potentially of cannabis, herbal cannabis, so I'm just going to give it a quick test and just see if it is or not. Okay. Yeah, so I've got a positive reaction. It's very, very small amount. I mean, obviously, he's been very upfront about what his intentions are, which could be unfortunate for him, depending on what immigration decide, but from what he's been saying to me, it does sound like he does intend to, you know, come over here to get married and to, you know, stay here with his wife when he gets married.
Liz thinks the cannabis is probably just a sign of personal use, and so decides to hand him back to immigration.
Yeah, it's reacted positively to cannabis. I mean, have you got any drugs on you at all today?
No, man.
No. Okay, what will happen now is we'll take you back upstairs. I'll just show the immigration officer the paperwork that I found. Okay, and then it'll be up to them then. They might want to ask you a few more questions. Okay. Basically, he's applied for a visit visa, which means he's come here for the purpose of tourism. When he's actually got to the immigration desk, he told the immigration officer that he's come to meet his girlfriend. So it sounds really like he doesn't intend to go back at all. So I've passed that information on to the immigration officer. They'll interview him and they'll make a decision about whether or not to let him come into the UK or whether to send him back home to America.
The man was allowed into the UK to meet his fiancée for the first time, but their relationship has been put on hold as he was returned to the United States the next day. The Bulgarian was charged with smuggling cocaine. He pleaded guilty and was sentenced to 6.5 years in prison. Coming up, in Gatwick, officers arrest a drug smuggler after making a painful discovery.
It's what we would call a stuffer's package, which would be put up somebody's backside probably.
Not scared of customs officers, are you?
Officers stop a man travelling with a boy, and it turns out he's not the father.
So you've been asked to take this child back to its mum?
And smug answers don't wash with border officers in Manchester.
Don't insult my intelligence, mate. On your best day, you're not as good as me on my worst day.
In Gatwick, a flight has arrived from Montego Bay. During a routine passenger search, UK border officers have found a package that looks like it could contain drugs. The passenger has been arrested.
The lady came off the Montego Bay flight and she was intercepted by one of our officers. Upon searching her bag, he found a package which we believed to contain cocaine. Took her to a search room. Whilst the package was being tested, the package tested positive for cocaine.
Knowing she's been caught red-handed, the woman confesses to other packages of drugs hidden under her clothes.
Right. This is what was found in the back of the suitcase. It's what we would call a stuffer's package, which would be put up somebody's backside probably. But that was found in the bag, and that was what we decided made it a job. And then during the ship search, we found this, which is all full of cocaine attached to her waist.
The audacious smuggling attempt also involved some highly modified underwear.
This little body packer's suit filled with cocaine.
It's a massive amount of drugs for one person to be carrying.
Nearly 2.5 kilos of coke on the body.
The seizure demonstrates the officer's skill in identifying smugglers.
Just stopped just to ask her a few questions. No real reason to stop her over anybody else. Historically, we tend to get more cannabis than we do cocaine in the flight. So she obviously saw her opportunity, knowing what she had on her person, and just walked through the channels. Unfortunately for her, she was stopped. Are we cuffing?
Suddenly realizing how much trouble she's in, the woman goes into shock.
Right, no more jumping around, okay? Stand up straight. Yeah? You're gonna walk with me? You're gonna walk?
You'll behave yourself.
I know it's hard, but you just need to...
The woman is taken to a holding bay for further questioning. Officers will need to be extra vigilant to ensure that she doesn't try to harm herself again. In Manchester, officers have received a call for backup from the other terminal. A passenger's fruit has given a massive hit for Class A drugs.
We've just been called over to Terminal 3. There's a lady, I believe, travelling from Barbados. Is it via Gatwick, Gary? Or Heathrow? It's on one of the shuttles. We believe they've found cocaine in yams. So we're just coming over to see what's going on.
Cocaine can be hidden anywhere, and with a street value of £50,000 per kilo, smugglers will go to extraordinary lengths to avoid detection.
Yams. Have you x-rayed them?
I've x-rayed them, just a bulky mass.
Right.
You couldn't tell from the x-ray whatsoever.
The initial trace was off the scale, but Border Officer Liz thinks it may be a false alarm.
Okay, we're not sure we've actually got anything. The officer spiked one of the yams and he's got a really high reading for cocaine off the machine there, but it's possible just contamination on the spike, so we're just going to cut right into these. We've had it in mangoes, coconuts, pineapples. Looks like there's nothing in these though, unfortunately.
Investigating further, the officers discover more potentially incriminating details. The woman's passport is brand new and her ticket was paid for in cash.
Is someone meeting her?
Her mum says she's
yeah. I mean, if you want to put stab vests on, yeah, and go and have a word and just verify a story, there's no harm there.
Still suspicious, the officers decide to investigate the woman's claim she's being met by her mother.
Obviously, for our protection, we need to have body armour on, in case if it is a drugs job, people who are meeting will obviously be looking for those drugs and be rather upset. So we need to be armoured up.
Just going to take your shoes for a second, that's yours as well.
Officers continue to carry out further tests for drugs.
Go ahead. When someone's got an internal concealment for drugs, their sweat comes out onto the shoes and the drugs shows in the sweat. So it's an indication that they might have something. They could have taken something, but it gives us grounds to do an internal body scan or something like that. It's come back negative, so there's no trace on the shoes.
The woman's ordeal continues as the team carry out more drug tests on the baggage.
But she's not really got many clothes or anything for a month's stay. It's that bag as well, that's a bag Constellation that a while ago we had a lot of seizures in.
A radio message comes through from the officers sent to meet the woman's mother.
No, there's no one out there waiting for her.
Yes, yes.
It's very strange though that her mum's not waiting for her outside but you know, that in itself is not enough, is it?
So she might have been delayed.
With no sign of the mother, the woman remains under arrest until the officers can prove that she's telling the truth. In Gatwick, the woman found carrying 2.5 kilos of cocaine has been transported to the custody cells.
You okay?
Keep walking forward. Have you got anything inside you that's hurting? No? Okay, do you want to come forward?
Having tried to harm herself, officers have handcuffed the woman for her own protection.
If the officer takes you, I understand you were banging your head upstairs. If the officer takes your cuffs off, you promise me not to do that here, yeah?
Just move this way.
I don't want you damage. I'm here to look after your welfare and your rights and your health. I don't want you damaging yourself while you're here. Right.
Lift your hands up for me. So this lady's arrived from Montego Bay this morning. Search of her hand baggage revealed a seizure called package. Cut was made in the package, which revealed a white paste.
Harold, are you? Sorry, can't hear you. Have you also swallowed? I need to know from a health and safety point of view. If you have, it's a danger to yourself.
I don't take drugs.
Okay. So you haven't swallowed anything as well? Okay, that's good.
Having found a substantial amount of cocaine on her person, officers must make sure
What
she's
it
not
is it's just
carrying
going to be another
drugs
search.
anywhere else.
And then there's the hairpiece.
All right. I didn't even notice that was up. That's what's in that, yeah?
Yeah, I've searched it already. When we told her that we were going to take her to custody and put her into a cell, she started slapping her own face and banging her head on the table, which is obviously not a good sign. So myself and another officer ran into the room and restrained her and applied some handcuffs. We now have to watch her because of her behaviour, and you know, we have to be extra alert, not knowing how she's going to react when she gets locked into a cell, how she's going to act when she's on her own, if she's going to try and harm herself. I do feel sorry for them sometimes because you wonder what it takes for them to actually do something like this. Yeah, just that amount on the person, 2.5 kilos is a lot to have. It's quite greedy.
Having already shown signs that she's prepared to self-harm, officers must ensure that nothing further happens to her whilst in their custody.
Because of that sort of thing, she might try and top herself, so we have to watch them on camera.
And she'll have to get used to being locked up. She was sentenced to 7 years in prison. In Manchester, officers are discussing the woman arrested on suspicion of smuggling cocaine in yams.
I don't really think I've got enough to,
I
do any further.
I don't think you've got enough to go any further, to be honest with you. But obviously the reason you arrested her in the first place is because you thought you had drugs in the yams. Now if you haven't...
to an arrest.
Well, yeah. But wait for Gary to come back in and see what Gary says, because obviously he's in charge. But I would say you haven't really got enough.
No.
Officer Gary radios through to say he's finally met the woman's mother outside.
All right, okay.
Having found no further evidence of cocaine, officers accept their false readings must have come from using a contaminated knife.
We've looked in your bags, we've looked further, and in further investigation looking into the yams and stuff, there isn't anything in there. We've made a mistake. When we tested it, it's given a false reading on our machine, so there isn't anything in there. So you're no longer under arrest. And I want to apologise for keeping you, but thank you for your patience anyway, and you can relax now, okay? So we're going to repack all your bags, and then we'll let you go outside, all right? Okay, and hopefully you'll enjoy your holiday here.
Whilst it's been an unnecessary ordeal for the woman, it shows that Class A drug hits must be investigated properly to ensure only guilty smugglers end up behind
Through
bars.
this way, that's the way out, okay? Just keep going through. Thank you.
It's a quiet afternoon at Manchester Airport. A flight from Sweden has just landed, and UK border officers have caught a suspected cigarette smuggler walking through baggage reclaim.
We've got three big suitcases full of ciggies, so we're going to have to come down. They're all going to need these left in, I think. We have to come down. We're going to have it looks like they're all loose in that, so we're going to have to count them.
Do you speak English? Don't mess around. A bit, yeah. You can see you speak enough English to smuggle cigarettes. Right, what flight are you on?
You get the tickets?
Stockholm flight. What carousel were you on? This carousel?
The man started his journey in Estonia, a known source country for cheap cigarettes.
Just noticed this guy leaving, and they're all full. Where'd you come from? Sweden. We started his journey in Estonia. And when did you fly back to Estonia?
No.
What do you mean you don't know?
No. Sometime.
You must have a ticket to go back to Estonia.
Yes, I know.
Well, when is it?
I don't have it yet.
You haven't been given it yet?
I haven't bought it yet.
No, what day are you flying back to Estonia?
I haven't decided yet.
Right, in here.
Seasoned Officer Gary isn't amused by the man's vague answers.
I've just come outside and saw this guy wandering around outside looking for the exit. And when I looked at his bags, they look quite square. So when I went over to speak to him, he told me he was from Estonia, which is a place where a lot of people bring cigarettes in from. When I felt the bag, they were rock hard, which suggests to us that they're full of cigarettes. And they are.
Happy days.
So how many times have you been to the UK?
A few.
How many?
The man's failure to answer simple questions is starting to annoy Gary.
Look, let's start from the beginning. Don't play stupid, right?
What do you mean?
Don't pretend that you don't know how many times you've been to the UK. You do know. Is it once, twice, 3 times, 10 times?
3 or 4.
Well, that's fine. Then that's the answer.
I don't remember exactly.
What do you mean you don't remember? When was the last time you came here? Long time ago. When? I can go in and check the airlines, so either tell me the truth or I'll find out.
I tell you, maybe a couple of months.
Right. On that occasion, you had cigarettes as well?
No.
No.
As officers uncover more and more cigarettes, it looks like it could be their biggest seizure ever. At Gatwick Airport, passengers are preparing to board a flight to Ghana. The UK border officers' cash
Lovely,
team is
thank
using
you.
specially trained sniffer dogs to search out large amounts
Thanks
of
very
money, which could have links to organised crime.
Okay, you're not scared of customs officers, are you? Sorry? Not scared of customs officers. This ticket, did you buy this yourself?
No, my sponsor.
You who?
My sponsor bought it for
Your
me.
sponsor?
In Ghana.
In Ghana.
As well as looking for large sums of cash, officers are on the lookout for drugs and to check the immigration status of passengers.
Hello. Do you carry any cash with you today?
Yeah.
You don't show us around how much you have with you.
I think it's 1,000 I'm going to bring to Smart.
Yeah, how much do you have? That's the question I asked. Money.
1,050.
Any more?
Any more cash?
Any
And
more
then
cash?
my personal cash.
How much do you have in total?
Roughly, let's say about 400. My personal cash.
Okay. Thank you.
The man's answers are not entirely convincing for Senior Officer Paul.
Hello, it's just 2 of you travelling.
Yes, please.
Yeah, just have a quick word with you.
Okay.
No, you got your hands full there. You told the officer when the dog indicated you had £400 in personal cash.
Yeah.
Are you carrying any cash for anybody else at all?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm a smart.
How much have you got in total?
1,050.
Could you show me that, please?
Yes.
Is there any more cash in the baggage here?
No.
So, who does the child belong to? Is it your son? Is this yours?
No, it's a friend.
So you've been asked to take this child
Yes,
back to its mum?
to its mum.
Okay, hold on a second.
The man's story rings alarm bells for Paul.
How much do you have?
I need your help in a minute.
Okay.
What's your relationship?
As a family friend.
And where's the father at the moment?
The father is at the airport.
At the airport.
Yes.
He's not flying though.
No, he's not flying.
This gentleman's taken a child out that's not his.
Right.
With the flight due to leave in 20 minutes, officers have a
I'll leave
race
that with
against
you.
time
Yeah.
to verify
Thank
the
you.
man's story.
So, where does the child normally live? In Ghana or in the UK?
This is my first time here. I came to meet him here.
Right.
And we go to check together. And he asked me if I can do him a favor and take his son to Ghana. But the dad is at the airport.
So the parents live in the UK?
Yeah.
Okay, right. What we've got a situation where a gentleman is travelling out with a small boy. He's not related to the child. So I'm going to try and make some inquiries with the parents to check where the child normally lives. The child appears to have been here about a year on a visit visa, which is possibly longer than we would expect on that type of visa. So I want to know what the immigration status of the parents is as well, really.
With passengers starting to board the plane, a decision must be made imminently about whether the man and the child will be leaving the
Do you know what the
country.
full number is?
In Manchester, officers are still counting the thousands of cigarettes intercepted from an Estonian smuggler.
So who are you meeting outside?
Nobody.
Who are you giving these cigarettes to?
Somebody.
Yeah, who? Don't you know his name?
I don't know. I just ran into it
And he will take them off you outside?
No.
Where'd you have?
Me, myself.
Where'd you have to go to hand them over? Manchester?
Maybe London.
London?
Maybe. It's not the point where.
No, it is to me. It may not be to you, but I'm asking you, where do you take the cigarette? If you don't know, don't they tell you where the cigarettes are going?
Probably.
Well, you're not doing this on your own, are you? It's obviously a gang.
Why? Why I cannot be myself?
Don't insult my intelligence, mate. Right? On your best day, you're not as good as me on my worst day. Right, so either say nothing, don't give me any rubbish. I know what's going on here. Right?
It takes 3 officers to count the enormous haul of cigarettes.
Total count is 46,560.
It's a huge seizure of cigarettes, with a street value of more than £20,000.
As you're probably aware, all these cigarettes are going to be seized. Do you understand that? And all the bags that they were carried in are going to be seized, right?
Why back?
Because I said so. Right, what I'm doing now, I'm getting you a receipt for the cigarettes, right? I'm going to give you a receipt. I'm going to give you a warning letter, because next time you will be arrested. Do you understand that? You come in here with all these cigarettes again, I will arrest you. Understand? Okay? There's the door.
With no previous convictions, the man is allowed to go free, but next time, he'll end up behind bars.
They try and think that they can say whatever they want to say. No, at the end of the day, we will arrest these people. I just don't like the idea that they can just be so blasé about it all, as if we can't do anything about it. Well, we will.
At Gatwick Airport, officers have just minutes to decide whether a child will be allowed to leave for Ghana with a man who isn't his father.
Right, I've just checked the status of the mother and the father. The father appears to be in the UK on some sort of permit.
If you hold the line 1 second, put the father on the phone.
Hello, sir. Hi, I understand you're the child's father. Right, yeah, and you've given a covering letter for Mr. Bonsu to travel with the child. Okay. Can you just confirm to me, sir, what's your own immigration status in the UK? How long have you got your visa for? Do you know when they rejected that application? When would that be, roughly?
You can understand the reasons why we need to make sure.
Maybe someone may kidnap somebody's son.
Exactly, that's the reason. Particularly with children.
Yeah.
And have you made any application for the child to be in the UK as a resident?
As the final call is made for all remaining passengers, officers must quickly make a decision.
You right there, Jane?
Yeah, I've spoken to the father and I've done some checks with our own database and he's able to verify some of what's on there, so I'm happy that he is the father.
Right.
So
they're going to allow travel?
Yeah. I'm endorsing the passports with their departure date, well, with the child's anyway, because he's been here too long on the wrong visa, basically. But the checks confirm our records, so yeah, I'm going to allow them to travel. Better get them on their way, though. Okay, I've spoken to the father and he's verified most of my checks, so that's fine. Okay, there you go. Cheers then, thank you.
Although under pressure, the officers are happy they've made the right decision.
I was very aware that the clock's ticking and you've got to make a decision, you know, whether to offload them and make a whole load more inquiries, but yeah, I think I wrapped it up just in time.
In Manchester, 2 weeks later, officers had an even bigger cigarette seizure from Eastern Europe, although Gary is yet to see the Estonian man again. In Gatwick, a flight from St Lucia has just landed. As the passengers disembark, UK border officers and sniffer dog Lucy are waiting, on the hunt for any traces of Class A drugs.
Thank you. Thank you.
The officers are also on the lookout for suspicious behaviour.
Thank you.
And when Lucy shows interest in this couple,
That's fine, thank you. Can you just lower your bag for me? Yeah.
both passengers seem nervous.
Thank you.
Handler Claire tracks the couple through passport control to baggage reclaim, where the search officers are waiting.
Yeah, they're sort of to the right, came away because he is looking this way, but I think he's just sort of looking everywhere in general anyway.
Yeah, Jason was saying that he's pretty nervous.
The team keep a close eye on the suspect as they head for the exit. When an officer stops the woman,
Hiya, where have you arrived from today? St. Lucia.
the man seems to walk on.
Are you travelling together?
Yes.
Yeah, do you mind just stopping at the bench for me, please?
But the officer pulls him over as well. Separating up the channels is a tactic often employed by smugglers, and the officers start to think they may be onto something.
Just need to ask you a few questions about the bags. Obviously, are you travelling together? Have you been together for the week?
Yes, I'm actually unemployed, but I do escorting on the side, so I do get some money.
Okay, have you packed the bags yourselves?
Yeah, I have.
Are you fully aware of the contents of your bags? Yeah.
The passengers seem a little jumpy,
You alright?
Yeah, I've got tummy ache.
and the officer notices her laptop is held together by sticky tape.
That's mine. Yours. Okay, can you turn it on for me? Have you got the battery?
Officers at Gatwick have recently found drugs hidden in laptops, and this one looks highly suspicious.
Well, if it goes through the X-ray, we don't need to put it apart, do we? We're just having a look at it because it's got tape all over it, which isn't usual.
Sorry?
It's got tape all over it.
Yeah, you can hold it together.
Okay then, there's not going to be a problem, is there?
The laptop is clear, but with around 1,500 kilos of cocaine seized at the border every year, the officers know to investigate every possible angle. And there's still one bag that needs to be searched.
You got a little rucksack, dude? Do you have a rucksack?
Yeah, I took it in my bag.
Yeah. Have a quick look in the rucksack.
Got dirty washing in it.
They swab the inside of the rucksack for traces of drugs. They now need to look again to find out where the cocaine trace may have come from.
That comes to them. There you go. Basically, what we did there was a swab of your bag, and it came up with a hit of heroin, cocaine. Have you used any cocaine whilst you've been away? Have you got anything in the bag at all?
No, not that, no.
That is your bag, is it?
No, you have to check.
Inside the rucksack is a plastic bag.
Have you got in there in that bag? What is? You tell me what is in your bag.
It's on that bag, yeah.
Just take your hands off it then. You don't know this is yours.
No, that would be put in there. No.
You stand back from me.
Someone took our bags to the airport. We had to check in.
Yeah, we had customs check at the airport.
Yeah.
Just stand there for me.
Hotel, yeah.
You're saying you don't know what this is? Okay, stay there, please.
Are they drugs?
Stay there a sec.
Yeah, you took care of them.
Yeah, there we go. Coke. See the white there? It is what it is. It's just cylinders of cocaine.
Is it?
Yeah. So they were arrested at 6:56.
You alright?
Yeah, I'm fine.
What was it then?
Internals now.
It is, I'm afraid it's tested positive for cocaine.
Is it?
So I need you both to
Okay.
listen to what I'm going to say.
Go on then.
Okay, it's 06:56 on the 15th of July. I'm arresting you both on the suspicion of being involved with the importation of a controlled drug. You do not have to say anything. It may harm your defence if you do not mention when questioned, something which you later rely on in court. Anything you do say may be given in evidence. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I don't, but...
Yeah, no, it's like a load of cocaine, I'll tell you.
The couple are taken into custody, denying any knowledge of the importation.
I haven't done anything wrong. That's been planted on us, you know.
Okay, well,
I'm telling you.
You're under arrest and you have been advised that you don't have to say anything.
The investigation into who the drugs belong to can now begin. In Manchester, officers are always on the lookout for bags arriving from EU countries containing large amounts of tobacco. The officers need to stop and question the passengers to make sure the goods are all for personal use.
Hey, mate.
But this passenger is far from happy.
You're not. You're not.
being cheeky and unprofessional. We're allowed them, and yes, now maybe we could bring in, we brought them in, we tell them, oh, you're not allowed to do this, why tell us we're allowed to do it? We can bring them in, and then you stop us and give us this crap. You're being nice, you're being horrible. You singled us out. You stood there, watched us, you picked no one up. You see the camera, mate.
The man's aggression is starting to escalate.
You're cheeky. You're cheeky. We're allowed to buy cigarettes, we smoke. Why should we pay your government massive prices? Eh? Hey, you robbers! You robbers! 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 Oh, you can't help me now, mate. Robbers, robbers, robbers just want more money off us.
With the man now threatening to lose control, more officers arrive to help calm the situation.
Let out! Let out! Let out! Let out!
All this before the officers have started the search. The woman's tobacco is below the guidelines, but if she's caught bringing in a similar amount again, it may be seized.
Right now. Come now. Come on. Stop asking us. Get off our back.
The woman understands, but the man is still angry.
The person was actually quite angry and agitated because he'd been intercepted by my officer. I thought he was going to attack one of my colleagues. So obviously I took a position just in case if anything was to happen, I could actually take the person down. Doesn't happen too often, but when it does happen, it can really escalate.
Thankfully, it all ends peacefully. Back in Gatwick, the two people caught with cocaine in their hand luggage are under arrest, and officers are working out the scale of the crime.
3 kilos, 0.590, probably 3 kilos at the end. We were looking at the bag, looking at the laptop, looking at something sophisticated, very well hidden. And to be fair, to find 6 big blocks like that in a bag, I haven't seen it for a long time.
The female suspect is a former heroin addict and is now asking for her medication.
We can't give you any medication, obviously, because we're not doctors. Listen to me. We need to do it. No, I understand that. We need to do a search of your person, and then we need to take you down to custody, and that's when you'll get given your solicitor, and we'll call in a nurse or a doctor.
I'll tell you what, I ain't done nothing, and I'm not even holding myself accountable for any of this because I've done nothing. I knew about nothing.
Okay.
It's been planted. My friend wouldn't do that.
Basically, you need to speak to your solicitor about those, okay? Tested positive for cocaine. And it's 3.5 kilos, which is quite a lot.
The couple will now be strip searched.
I'm also going to have to get you to bend over at one point so I can see you've got nothing internally.
Of course, of course.
Meanwhile, sniffer dog Lucy is brought in to be trained up on the unique scent of this cocaine seizure. With drugs varying widely in both purity and quality, any chance to give dogs a new scent increases their chances of sniffing out more smugglers. The suspects are now transferred to the custody suite for further questioning.
Baggage search of his rucksack, hand baggage, revealed a number of cylindrical shaped packages that tested positive for cocaine.
Do you have your own solicitor or do you want duty? Duty, that's fine. We can arrange that for you. Do you want anyone notified you're here? No. No? Cell 3, please.
Just take your shoes off and leave them on.
As the female suspect arrives, the arresting officer brings the investigation team up to speed.
She's got nothing in hers.
You did her bag first?
Did her bag first, her and her handbag.
So they had separate baggage?
Yeah. He had it in his rucksack, all of it, 3.5 kilos, whatever it was, in his rucksack.
Which is not checked?
No, hand baggage.
Okay, yeah. And it was foil wrapped cylinders?
It's cylindrical, vacuum packed, I would say, vacuum packed packages. I haven't even counted how many, to be honest. And they straight away started saying that the bags were taken off them in St. Lucia, and they thought something was odd and they've been set up.
Being caught with this amount of cocaine is no laughing matter. Both suspects have since pleaded not guilty. But if convicted, this could be the first night of many behind bars. Still to come. A woman claims she's been treated unfairly despite the evidence.
Yeah, I don't do this.
No.
Sometimes they pick the wrong person.
In Gatwick, the Sniffer dog teams are targeting a plane that's just arrived from St. Lucia. Following a number of recent cocaine seizures, the intelligence unit has identified a possible smuggler on this flight. It's up to the officers to find and search the suspect and find out if the information is correct.
It's on 6, 7 or 8, it's something up there.
Do you know what is she wearing? Anything distinctive?
Carrying a shoulder bag and a Louis Vuitton hand luggage as well. I just need to double check it is there actually. Coming up.
The woman is kept under surveillance as she passes through the airport.
She's about the 8th or 9th one going on.
That's fine, thank you very much, madam. Can you just stand still for 1 minute?
Not all intel targets turn out to be smugglers, so sniffer dogs like Sam are the quickest way to work out if someone has been in contact with drugs. Sam picks up a scent, but can't pinpoint the source. So now it's up to Kevin to search and question the suspect.
Hello, where have you arrived from this morning? St. Lucia. Like to come over with me very quickly?
As Kevin begins the search, the woman seems edgy, and her body language is far from friendly.
I'm fed up.
Hopefully it shouldn't take too long.
It's the first this happened to me.
Yeah.
Every year,
Yeah.
never.
Unfortunately, we do get...
I don't
Oh, no, yeah, of course you don't.
I'm a decent person.
Yeah.
I don't deal with those
Yeah.
things. I work hard for my living.
Yeah. Unfortunately, what we don't know is what somebody's smuggler looks like. 'Cause they're not...
Me, I don't do this.
No.
I never get stuck
No.
since I'm traveling. Never.
Yeah.
Sometimes they pick the wrong person.
Kevin's beginning to think she isn't carrying drugs and is just upset at being delayed.
Right, I'll do a quick swab of your bag, okay?
A quick drug swab should find out.
She looks all right. I'll swab the bags and I'll...
The bag swab gives a surprising result.
Obviously, need to check the bags fully. I was hoping to get you on your way quickly. I'm getting a contamination for cocaine. Right, no, let me explain, right?
Just open it.
I'll need to do everything, yeah. It'll take a bit longer, that's all. Okay? Right.
The suspect's becoming impatient, but the coke hit combined with the intelligence means she isn't going anywhere just yet. In Manchester, a flight has just landed from Paris. The French capital has connecting flights to all the world's drug source countries, and UK border officers are on the lookout for any smugglers trying to slip through in the crowd.
Thailand, you want to just come through here? Are you travelling on your own or are you with somebody? On your own? Just come through here, please. How long have you been out for?
3 days.
And what was the purpose of your trip?
Wedding in Paris.
This passenger arrived from Paris, but began his trip in Thailand.
Why did you go to Thailand for?
Why?
Yeah. Oh, right, okay. So how long are you in the UK for?
Till Sunday.
Till Sunday. So what do you do in Thailand?
I'm a cook.
Border officer Zoobs is yet to catch his first cocaine smuggler, and disappointingly, this passenger's story sounds plausible. But a strong hit for cocaine from the passenger's passport raises suspicions. Next, Zoobs swabs the man's toothbrush to work out if he might be a user.
Quite a strong hit, that.
Zoobs gives the man a chance to explain the hits.
Right, I've just actually done a quick swab of your passport and your toothbrush. It's giving me high traces of cocaine. It's giving me high traces of cocaine.
Right.
Okay. Have you actually come into contact with cocaine in Thailand?
No. In Thailand?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm not a user.
But you're not a user.
No, I'm not.
So how do you explain cocaine traces from a toothbrush, which is personal just to yourself?
I don't know.
Right, okay.
With the man offering no explanation, Zoobs has to assume he's carrying drugs either in his bags or in his body.
Okay, I've actually had high hits of cocaine from the trainers, right? How do you explain all these stuff? Now, if you've actually used cocaine out there, I'm not interested.
In Thailand?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's...
You've used it out there now?
I said that to you.
No, you said you didn't.
I did, I said that to you once or twice.
Just once or twice in the past. And
Yeah.
when was the last time that you've actually...
2 months.
About 2 months ago. Right.
You know, it's not a problem. We need to know if you've used in the past, you know, few weeks.
Yeah, I understand that.
And you're saying you haven't. Right. You sure?
But under pressure, the man changes his story again.
Well, so when was the last time?
I used it in Paris.
In Paris?
In Paris, so it actually wasn't 2 months ago.
He's finally admitted using, but as he's already lied, the officers need to make sure he's not carrying any drugs.
What's on there?
There's a TV appearance from me.
Have you? They're just a selection of CDs, and he's got one DVD. He's a celebrity chef, apparently. It's something to do with... that's what he said he was, a celebrity chef, some sort of TV programme. That's the passenger.
Although some of the story checks out, Zub still thinks the passenger may be a smuggler.
Initially, he denied he was a user. He's admitted to the fact that he first told me he last used 2 months ago. And then he came down to the fact that at the wedding where he went to in Paris, they had a big session.
Have you asked him if he'd object to such?
I've not asked him, but just see the reaction, yeah.
Still on the hunt for his first ever cocaine seizure, Zubes puts the man on the spot.
If we were to ask you for a search of a person, would you object to that?
I'm carrying 2 grams of cocaine. I have 2 grams of cocaine in my underwear.
Right, okay.
Zub's persistence means he's just bagged his first ever cocaine seizure.
The time is 17:35. I'm arresting you on suspicion of being involved in the importation of controlled drug.
The man's admission is set to land him in a whole heap of trouble.
Just take a seat on the back wall. That one.
And the seriousness of the crime is already starting to hit home.
Okay.
Back in Gatwick, Kevin is also dealing with a suspect whose bags are giving hits for cocaine.
Again, I've got low levels of cocaine. I'll have to go through this bag because I've got the same thing on this bag. And you may put your arm on the counter or...
But this woman isn't very understanding about the already lengthy delay.
Taking cocaine. And that can get on your clothes. Yeah. Just going to put the bag through the X-ray. What we're looking for is concealments. It looks okay, it doesn't seem that heavy, but...
Having ruled out all other causes of the coke hits, Kevin's last job is to X-ray the case.
Yeah, there's some sort of thing here. It could well just be part of the bag makeup. I just did a check in the middle of the bag, just about there, there's nothing there.
The anomaly is just a bar of chocolate.
And that's what came up on the X-ray.
They found cocoa, but not cocaine. The woman is now free to go.
That's what was in there. Could you, yeah, because the lady wants to go away, actually. Thank you.
Came in this morning, calling me. You come to me or you come to my dress? It's so funny. I never have a problem since I'm travel. Even in St. Lucia's, I never have a problem.
This time, the search finds nothing. And despite Kevin's best efforts,
it's not easy.
the passenger isn't impressed.
Thank you.
Back in Manchester, the officers have the celebrity chef caught smuggling cocaine in his pants under arrest.
Yeah.
He could be sent down. Importation of a Class A, so it's not a petty offence.
The smuggler's plan began confidently.
You gonna be sick?
But now he doesn't have the stomach to deal with the consequences. The man is visibly distressed, but Zoobs needs to get his hands on the cocaine hidden in his underwear.
Are you okay, sir? Are you okay to continue? Can you bend down, please? Part your buttocks, please. Okay, sir. 2 small packages in plastic bags that were on his underwear. In the UK, one wrap probably about £50–60 for what it's actually worth. I mean, he's put his neck on the line.
It's a small seizure, but with serious consequences.
You do actually feel sorry for individuals, I mean, for doing things like that. But at the end of the day, I mean, they've actually committed a crime.
It's especially significant for Zoobs, as it's his first ever Class A seizure.
This was my first arrest for cocaine, so my heart was actually pumping, and it's like, from speaking to colleagues, they say regardless how many times you actually do it, your heart does pump, you do get a buzz.
But there'll be no buzz from this cocaine. It will now be destroyed. A few days later, the man pleaded guilty and received 2 years conditional discharge for the crime. The UK Border Agency is at war with smugglers in the ports and airports.
You don't have to say anything.
Get that out of my face. Just leave it.
Coming up, suspicions are aroused by one passenger carrying 7 candles.
You know, it's quite a large amount of candles to have.
Where are they coming from?
One man forgets his manners whilst having his bag searched.
Okay, having a good meal on the plane. Sounded like you just had a 3-course roast dinner.
And officers get their hands dirty at Gatwick.
This one stinks. Ugh. No!
It's rush hour in Gatwick, and Class A drug dog Lucy is back in training. Her amazingly sensitive nose is about to be put through a training exercise. A flight has just arrived from Ghana, and officers have asked a passenger to hide a tiny sample of cocaine in their bag.
Thank you.
It's Lucy's job to find it amongst the crowd.
It's all right, don't be scared.
It's vital the sniffer dogs get experience of real-life situations.
Stand still for me, please. Good girl.
Lucy's nose can detect drugs at just a few particles per trillion and easily picks out the fake smuggler. But it's the passengers behind him who grab the officer's attention as 2 Eastern European men pass through with no hand luggage.
Blue Hawaiian shirt.
Yeah, the other guys.
With the white top, a bit taller.
Yeah.
They're obviously together though, aren't they? So it'd be interesting if they don't come through together.
They're probably right, but just they sort of stood out when I saw them come off the flight, actually.
Gatwick's had a recent surge in Eastern Europeans smuggling cocaine from Ghana, so their suspicions are highly aroused.
We'll wait and see what happens here.
Over in the freight terminal, there's another job for the border officers, and there's no rest for sniffer dog Lucy.
We've got a bit of BA mail to do. She's going to sniff some boxes and some sacks and see if she likes any of it or not. If so, we'll ask Royal Mail to open the box. So let's go and give it a go.
Sniffer dogs are a vital tool in tracing drugs smuggled via post. But with millions of parcels coming through Gatwick every year, it's a time-consuming process.
Sit. Good girl. Where?
Almost immediately, Lucy picks out a box and gives a trademark indication.
Would you mind having a look at this box for me? She's showing a lot of interest and she sat down, which is a good indication.
Okay, I'll get Royal Mail to open it.
Okay, thank you. The officer has gone to Royal Mail to get them to open it because we're not allowed to open it ourselves. So I'm just waiting for them to come back now to see if there's anything in the box, and they can then
examine whatever the contents of the box will be.
Royal Mail have opened the box and officers can now inspect the contents.
Just having a look at the contents of the book, seems to be all wooden items. Plaques are quite common. I'll x-ray them, see if it shows anything.
The X-ray should show any hidden concealments.
Yes, you can see on this, the bigger one here was the first plaque that went in. There's a line round the edge, just here and here. Nothing in this one or this one.
With the X-ray showing a hidden concealment, there's only one way to find out what it is.
Yeah, you can see there's white powder here on the drill bit. I'll do the test now. Hopefully it should go blue and demonstrate the presence of cocaine. Yeah, it's just starting to go blue as it dries here, which confirms there's cocaine in the package.
It's an excellent find by Lucy.
I'm going to bring Lucy back in to reward her on her find. So we'll put it back into the box, put it back amongst the other boxes, and hope she'll find it again and she'll get her ball this time. We can't really give her ball the first time because we don't know if there's anything there or not.
With the cocaine confirmed, Lucy gets her well-earned reward.
She takes a while to actually indicate. She sniffs it thoroughly first. So. There we go. Good girl. Clever girl. Yay! Good result.
Across in the Gatwick custody suite, the officer's suspicion about the two Eastern Europeans was spot on.
Is that the Ritz? Hello, yeah, it's Kevin here. I'm in custody suite. We've got two smugglers.
Kevin and Mark questioned the suspected smugglers. The men were then X-rayed. Inside their bodies are dozens of packages full of cocaine.
You just take your clothes off, put this on.
Back down here for me.
The men will remain in custody until the packages have passed through their systems and the officers can collect and analyse the evidence. Meanwhile, a Lithuanian translator has been brought in to explain the situation.
Right, because he's got packages inside him, we will put him in a cell in a moment and we're going to turn CCTV cameras on and he will be monitored at all times for his own health and safety.
Yeah, until I pass them.
Yeah. Okay, does he want anything to eat or drink at the moment?
No. Yes.
Officers must closely monitor the men and observe when they go to the toilet in case they attempt to swallow the packages again after they've passed through their systems.
Is the other guy in the cell?
Yeah.
Because this guy says he needs the loan.
Right.
So I'm wondering, is there any, do you have any problem with me taking them?
Not at the moment, the temperature's having a cup of tea. So
okay, so we just take it to the special?
Yeah, yeah. Okay. There's a special toilet basically where it collects any packages when people go to the toilet basically. So it's a way of collecting the evidence to ensure it doesn't go down, it doesn't flush down the loo. Not our favourite job actually. Yeah. Fortunately, Mark's got the job, not me.
The guy asked to go to the loo. He's been to the loo. We've got a special one that we use for people who swallow drugs. Obviously, if they pass any, we need to collect them up. And yes, he did. So I need to go and sort that out now.
For Officer Mark, this is the first time he's dealt with drug swallowers. Collecting the evidence is not a pleasant experience.
Yeah, yes, so you may... Yeah, good. Yeah, okay.
As the toilet is flushed, the Lithuanian swallower's cocaine is washed into a special basin. If just one of these packages had burst inside him, the man would have been killed within seconds.
Yeah, thank you.
An unlucky Mark's job is to rinse and clean the packages so they can be sent off for testing and used as evidence. In all, the men had swallowed 50 packages each with more than 1 kilo of cocaine. They've since pleaded guilty and will now have to swallow a long prison sentence. The busy shift continues at Gatwick's North Terminal. Border Force agents have been alerted to a suspicious stash of candles which one passenger has brought back from Jamaica.
We're going to make a little hole in them.
An X-ray has revealed a suspicious line in the candles, so Officer Jez suspects there may be something hidden inside.
Look, Stuart.
And straight away, the smell confirms his suspicion. It's the third drug haul of the day at Gatwick, this time herbal cannabis.
Well, you get it in all sorts of places. Do the rest later.
The passenger proclaims her innocence, but is arrested for importing a controlled substance.
We've got a total of 7 candles. The first one has shown that we've got a small amount of cannabis in it. And we're just going to make sure that the others have also got cannabis in it. And the second one would indicate also that it has got cannabis in it as well. So the top part, it's slightly darker than it is on the lower part, which obviously now we know it's got obviously about 200 grams of cannabis inside. The lady actually, when she was stopped, did mention that she'd bought some candles while she was away. And which is fair comment because people do actually buy different presents to bring back for people when they go abroad on holiday. And she actually did say she'd got some candles. I think the officer became suspicious when she realised that she'd got 7, which is, you know, it's quite a large amount of candles to have. So that now leaves us with 4 candles to examine. And I suspect the other 4 candles will probably contain herbal cannabis as well.
With 2 Class A seizures already this morning at Gatwick, Jaz was hoping to find something more incriminating than cannabis.
A little bit disappointing in reality for us professionally, but nevertheless, a good concealment.
With over 1.5 kilos of cannabis found inside the candles, the passenger is now awaiting sentencing. Coming up...
This one stinks.
Officers get their hands dirty at Gatwick. At Manchester Airport, an international flight has just arrived with over 200 passengers on board. UK border officers are scanning and X-raying bags for any unusual signs.
This one's coming in from Montego Bay in Jamaica, so it's of interest to us from a drugs angle. You get cocaine and cannabis both produced and imported from the Caribbean, so basically any flights from the Caribbean are of interest for drugs.
As passengers disembark, Officer Liz is on the lookout for any suspected smugglers.
Hello, sir. You travelling on your own today?
Yes.
Can you just bring your bag this way for me, please? Where have you come in from?
Jamaica.
Yeah, can you just bring your bag this way, please? Do you have a passport and ticket? Are you aware it's illegal to import certain things into the UK, such as controlled drugs, indecent material, offensive weapons?
Yes.
Do you have anything like that with you?
No.
Do you have anything to smoke or drink?
No.
Right, OK, what's in your duty-free boxes there?
Rum.
OK, so that's to drink. So how much rum have you got?
This is 6 bottles.
6 bottles of rum. OK. Do you have a key for this, please?
He's way over his allowance for spirits, and Liz is suspicious about the man's denial. She decides to X-ray some of the goods in his baggage for any hidden drugs.
The gentleman's just got some fruit and some bottles. What I'm doing, I'm just X-raying it just to make sure that there's nothing concealed within the fruit or the bottles. Sometimes I've had little packages that are stuck behind the labels in the bottles. So I'm just checking there's nothing concealed there. They all look fine, so. He's got quite a lot of bottles of rum cream. I'm actually going to test one of the bottles just to make sure there's no cocaine in solution. What's just happened here is I've just been swabbing various things as I've been going through the baggage. I've just tested the swab and it's actually come up with a small trace of heroin. Okay. Now that's quite unexpected really, because the sort of drugs you'd be expecting to find from Jamaica would be cocaine and cannabis. So it's only a small trace, and I'm just going to see if I can replicate the hit to see where it's come from, and then I might ask him about it.
Having found the trace, Liz is now on the lookout for any behavioural indicators the man may be smuggling.
Okay, had a good meal on the plane?
Yeah, the meal was terrible.
The meal was terrible? What was it?
What did I have? Some powdered eggs.
Some powdered eggs? Is that it? All right.
But it's not just the man's manners causing Liz concern.
Sounded like you just had a 3-course roast dinner. Yeah. One of the indications that someone might have an internal concealment of drugs is actually burping. And I don't know whether you caught that, but he just gave a very loud burp, and he's not eating very much, so, you know, my suspicions are raised a little bit. He's also not got a lot of money. He's got £5 to get a taxi to somewhere, which he might get there for £5, but I'll just carry on, see what we get.
At Gatwick Airport, UK border officers are targeting a flight from the Canary Islands. They're on the lookout for passengers bringing in more than their allowance of cigarettes and alcohol. The officers shuffle their ID cards and pick at random to see who gets which job.
1. Yes!
Hazel wins, but her husband Paul draws the short straw.
I can't believe I'm last again!
Having successfully chosen her ID card first, Officer Hazel will have the first choice of any jobs.
This one stinks. The slightly less glamorous part of our job. I think it's his shoes.
The bags have arrived from outside the EU, and passengers are strictly limited to 200 cigarettes. Hazel must find the cigarettes, even if this means confronting her pet hate of touching other people's pants.
There's 800 in here as well. Ooh.
She might not like it, but the owner of this bag has 800 cigarettes.
Hazel, just put some gloves on and look professional.
Oh.
That's someone's bag.
Oh, what's wrong with them? Oh, it was just people's knickers. That, just the most revolting part of our job.
When passengers exceed their allowances, the goods need to be seized.
Which one are you going to do, Hazel?
I don't mind.
You choose, you're number 1.
I'll do the suitcase.
Right, okay, let's go.
With their jobs allocated, the officers head upstairs and wait for the passengers to claim their bags from the luggage carousel.
Is it the two of you travelling together?
Yeah.
Yeah, excuse me, sir. Just bring your bags over to one of the benches for me, please.
Hello. Are the two of you travelling together?
Yes.
Where have you just arrived from?
Lanzarote.
Okay, if I can just have a moment of your time. Right, so what have you got in here then?
That's what I got off the plane.
Okay, so you've got 400 there, yeah?
Yeah.
And you've got 400 other cigarettes?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's basically twice your allowance.
Right,
okay,
see,
so if you've got 800 cigarettes, that's you're allowed 400, so you've got twice
I
the
said to the
allowance.
rep, when we was there, I could take 400 out. And I said, what about on the plane? He went, yeah, there's some on the plane, you can buy them on the plane.
Yeah,
So
but-
he's directed me wrong.
Okay, so you've got 800 in total then. Is there any other things you want to tell me about before we carry on?
You want to tell the man? You got any cigarettes or booze anywhere?
I can't remember what I've got in this one.
You got to tell the man.
Whilst Paul's passengers appear to understand they've exceeded their allowances, Hazel's passengers are slightly less happy.
OK, because you're over your allowance for both alcohol and cigarettes, and because you knew your allowance, OK, I have to seize everything from you, OK? That's everything that you've got here. So that's 1,600 cigarettes and 5.5 litres of spirits, OK? I'll just get you some documentation. Just hold on for a second.
You're well in excess of your allowances on both alcohol and cigarettes. So these items are going to be seized from you today. Okay, I'll issue you with some paperwork, but these are going to be taken and destroyed. Okay.
They admitted to knowing that they were over their duty-free allowance for alcohol and for cigarettes. They looked a little bit peeved, but they knew they'd done wrong. He didn't say anything as such, but I think he was hoping he'd get away with it.
Okay, thanks very much for your time.
Fair enough, I mean, Admittedly, I went down the wrong channel and he sort of jumped on us, so we paid the price. It's an expensive lesson.
For the officers, it's been a job worth getting their hands dirty for.
It was a little unclean, but we didn't make too much of an issue of it.
I had first pick of the detections because I'd won the draw, so I decided that I'd take the cleaner option and give the bag with the dirty lingerie to Paul. I think he got a slightly bigger seizure out of it, but it was worth it not to have to rummage through that again.
In Manchester, Liz has found nothing in the suspect's bags. The last thing to check is the passenger's rum.
Can you pass me your duty-free boxes up, please? Cheers. Okay, this isn't rum, is it? This isn't rum, is it? What is it?
Yeah.
Okay, just wait there for 1 second.
Liz's intuition and patience has finally paid off as she finds a large package stuffed inside the duty-free rum cases.
Okay. Obviously what I was expecting to find in the duty-free boxes was rum. Okay, this clearly isn't rum. So obviously I suspect it to be drugs. What I'm going to do now, cut into there. Okay, and what we've got here is herbal cannabis by the look of it. I'm actually going to arrest the gentleman. I'm going to ask my colleague to test it, and I'm going to just take him into a private room and arrest him. Just want to take a seat there, please. Okay, I suspect this to be cannabis. Okay, so the time is 08:33. I'm arresting you on suspicion of being knowingly concerned in the illegal importation of a controlled drug.
As the man begins to realise the consequences of his actions, Liz gets the results back from the tests on the substance.
All that red colour there, that's confirmation that it's cannabis. Obviously the indicators there that he's nervous and all the rest of it are still there. We now know why he's nervous, because he's got this, but I can't discount the possibility that he may be carrying drugs internally as well.
But the man is less than happy at the suggestion that he may have swallowed drugs.
I need to be sure that you don't have drugs on you, inside you. Are you okay with that?
No, because I have nothing in my stomach.
No, because you've got nothing in your stomach, right. If you refuse to have the compass, you will be monitored and we'll have to wait for nature to take its course, and you'll have to have 2 clear motions.
With the man's reluctance to have an X-ray, Liz is adamant they'll find out whether he swallowed drugs one way or the other.
Okay, we're going to take you upstairs now to our custody suite. Okay, so if you'd like to follow us, you can push your trolley. Okay, you all right?
The man's frustration is understandable. Liz has intercepted a huge amount of cannabis.
It was actually quite a shock when I saw the tape packages. I wasn't expecting it. I just thought he'd actually got too much rum.
The packages contain more than 8 kilos of cannabis with a street value of more than £25,000. After an X-ray, it was revealed that the cannabis smuggler had not swallowed any packages. He's currently awaiting trial. In Manchester, a flight has just landed from Jamaica. Sniffer dog Roddy is in operation on the hunt for any traces of cocaine. Roddy gives a clear indication on this passenger, and officers Liz and Kev step in to investigate.
You got a passport and ticket? What's that? Do you have a passport and ticket?
Yeah, travelling together, yeah. You want to come over here? I'll have a quick chat with you then.
With over 1,000 cocaine seizures a year, border officers know that cocaine smugglers come in all shapes and sizes.
How long you been away for?
A week.
You been before? No? What do you think of it?
It's nice.
Is this the same bag you took out with you?
Yep.
Okay.
The officers take the passports and swab for signs of drug use.
Right.
Just got quite hard traces of cocaine off a gentleman's passport, so I'll ask him if he's had any contact with drugs, if he's used at all, and take it from there. Just want to quick swab of your passport, see if there's any traces of drugs on it. And there is traces of drugs. Have you ever used anything?
No.
Ever smoked weed or ever used anything stronger than that?
Not smoke, no.
No? Never had any sort of contact with drugs ever?
Well, not that, no.
Right, okay.
The man clearly states he's had no contact with drugs, but officers know from experience not to believe everything they're told.
I just found a very small trace of cocaine. I've been swabbing around in his jeans pockets and things like that, so it's only a small one, but it's still a trace.
Liz's job now is to work out if he's a user or a smuggler.
You sure you've never ever used or been in contact with cocaine?
Nope.
Okay. I mean, if you have, tell me now, because it's a lot easier. No? Okay. Just found a very small trace. You say I've been swabbing your clothes and everything?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's come from your clothes, so...
With a bit more pressure, Kev's suspect begins to contradict himself.
Have you ever used drugs any time, even if it was a long time ago?
Yeah, I've used it before, yeah.
Well, what have you used and how long ago?
Well, I don't want to discuss that because it's personal, you know what I mean?
Well, it's relevant to...
It's not relevant because I haven't got no drugs on me, so I don't answer that question.
I don't know that. All I can go off is
Well,
the traces
you'll find no drugs.
that I'm getting.
Liz then swabs her passenger's suitcase, and the hit for cocaine is almost off the scale. The officers are now convinced the two suspects are carrying drugs.
That is out the bottom of your suitcase.
I don't know, it's like that.
I mean, that's about as high as it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah? So you're telling me you've never ever been in contact with cocaine?
Well, I've seen it. I've never had a light or nothing like that in my life.
No?
No.
I've done inside your bag, I've got, well, I'll show you. Cocaine high. It's a really, really high reading for cocaine from inside your bag.
Yeah.
Now, if you use it every now and then, I'm not bothered. I just need to know.
I didn't use it, that's what I'm trying to say to you.
But the officers need answers, or the search will need to go deeper.
At the end of the day, I need to know where the traces are coming from. If it's definitely not from you using,
yeah,
I've got to think you might have something concealed on you or in you
you can
somewhere.
search me as much as you want, mate. I ain't got, that's what I'm told you. You can do whatever searches you want to do. Not to hide.
Okay.
If I had something to hide, I wouldn't have said that I'd made that with him and I walked straight off and said no.
Yeah, fair enough, it's a fair comment, yeah. All right.
But some background checks reveal that Kev's passenger has a criminal record for dealing heroin.
Stuff on CRO, supply heroin in 03, there is theft, kindred drugs going back 5 or 6 years.
The officers now have proof that at least one of them is lying. At Gatwick Airport, a courier shipment has just arrived at the freight terminal. It's up to the border officers to ensure that any hidden drugs don't make it onto the streets. Drugs dog Megan has been brought in to speed up the search.
We're just about to search some cargo from South America, or some DHL mail, from places like Colombia, Venezuela, things like that. So we're just waiting till they get all the stuff off the pallet, and then we'll let it go.
The sniffer dog's nose is 10 times as powerful as a human. But today, it's Officer Andres who spots a suspicious smell.
When I opened the box, there appeared to be a slight chemical odour coming from the box. Appears to be very heavy, this bag. There's all these unusual large buttons on them.
Highly suspicious, Andres calls in the expert.
Steve, do you want to just let the dog have a sniff of this?
Sure.
We're not trained to sniff it. It wouldn't be very good health and safety-wise.
Sniffing out smugglers is a job best left to the dogs, and Megan's indication on the buttons couldn't be any clearer.
Is that a good indication?
Yeah, that'll do.
But there's only one way to find out for certain.
Just make an incision, just see if there is anything in these buttons. We have seen it in buttons, yeah. They tend to put drugs in large buttons like these. Yeah, there appears to be a white powder inside there. I'll do a test on that just to make sure it is. Appears to have gone blue, indicating the presence of cocaine.
It's another hit for the freight team. With 3 bags all covered in huge buttons full of cocaine, it's a seizure worth tens of thousands of pounds.
This particular package is going to a private individual in Spain, so we'll inform the Spanish authorities and then they'll make a decision as to whether they want to do a controlled delivery on the premises or get a warrant to search the premises, take it from there, really.
Nice job. Cheers, mate.
In Manchester, officers are still trying to find out why 2 passengers have triggered massively high readings for cocaine.
It's not something we're going to use. We're not going to go and tell the police this person's admitted doing this, that or the other. I just need to know why there's traces there. That's the only reason I keep asking you. I know you're probably getting fed up with it now, I keep asking the same questions, but I just need to know why there's traces there. That's pure, that's my job. I've got to, if I let you walk out of here with all these traces of coke and no explanation, my boss is going to say to me, well, you know, why have you done that? So that's the only reason I keep asking you.
Kev's suspect has admitted previous convictions for heroin dealing, but both suspects are adamant they've had no recent contact with cocaine.
Getting really high traces off the case, higher than I've had off anything else, you know what I mean? I don't know why, you know, like off the bottom, that's like from underneath the lining. But I've x-rayed it, there's nothing...
My guy's been done for dealing Class A, hasn't he, in the past? They probably just used him, might have been out there organising something.
Liz re-x-rays her passenger suitcase for any hidden concealments.
How long have you had it, mate? Yeah. Just getting really, really massive hits. That's where I've had the biggest hits for cocaine, and there's nothing there. It doesn't weigh anything, so...
I've just swapped these debit cards and it's completely off scale, absolutely right to the top for coke.
The officers are getting frustrated with the evasive answers.
When was the last time you used coke?
Months ago, I can't remember.
Right. Okay.
Kev's passenger has admitted using cocaine, but it's Liz's suspect who still says he's never touched drugs, despite all the evidence against him.
Yeah, because the dog indicated on you, I mean, that's the reason we stopped you. Want to be sure you've got nothing on you. We found traces of cocaine all over your baggage. You've denied use or contact with cocaine. You travel frequently. The trip was booked by somebody else. It's just one of our indicators. So the lads are just going to take you into a private room now and search you. All right.
Running out of possible causes, Liz examines his footwear. If he's a swallower, traces of drugs would seep into the shoe. But hits off the laces would suggest he's recently handled drugs while using.
And that's off his laces. You seen that off the laces? See, I've got a problem because there's really, really massive traces off your laces. There's nothing off, there's like a little trace, sort of like inside your shoes. Yeah. But off your laces, it's just like, it's almost all the bars again. It's like there's been loads of cocaine in contact. I mean, well, I mean, inside, but like I say, off your laces, I've never seen anything so high off laces. Obviously, the concern is you might have something internally. If we were to...
Scanner if you want.
You'd be all right with that, would you?
Yeah, I don't take note and I haven't brought note, but
okay.
Jamaica a bit stupid, this thing to bring somewhere for.
Well, people do, yeah.
I know, but...
So what about a urine test? If we did a urine test, what would that show us?
What, my intestines?
A urine test, you know, like a pee test.
Oh, my pee test?
Yeah.
A bit of cannabis?
Bit of cannabis,
but... cannabis, yeah.
Yeah, it does show cannabis, yeah, but no cocaine.
No.
A baffled Liz has investigated the massive cocaine hits as far as she can. With no hard evidence, the men are free to go.
I'm not being funny, but you don't find out what can you do?
All right. Go home and burn all your stuff and...
No, yeah, we've just been totally searched and they're saying we've got traces of cocaine in my laces in my shoes, but I don't have a clue where that could have come from. Cheers.
Thanks, Jet.
It's happened about 5 times before, so it's nothing new. But to find traces of cocaine in our shoelaces, that's a new one. But I don't know where the hell it could have come from.
Coming up, officers face a string of lies in Dover.
No cigarette. I'm Roman.
What have we got here then?
We've got 14 cartons.
14? Oh, that's the result then.
At Manchester Airport, a flight has just arrived from Pakistan. Border Officer Richard is x-raying bags on the lookout for excessive quantities of cigarettes.
Looking at the screens to see if we can see any cigarettes on these monitors here. There's quite a few in the bag that'll look fairly obvious. On a flight like this, we expect to pull off anywhere from none to 20 bags full of cigarettes or partly full of cigarettes.
Passengers have a maximum of 200 cigarettes, and border officers like Az know to take nothing at face value.
There isn't any particular bag that will be specific to a type of smuggling. It's any type of bag is suspicious. We look at all types of bags, whether they could be more firm than others, then again they could be also quite soft. So it really doesn't matter on the type of bag.
Okay, we've got one here which is more or less full of cigarettes.
And for people hoping to smuggle tobacco, the X-ray means there's nowhere to hide.
1, 2, 3, 4. There's at least 800 in that block there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Another 800 there. There's more lined up that way. There's more there. And this is similar, not as obvious, but there's looks like cigarettes there as well.
The bags go back on the belt as Az heads upstairs to see who will claim the suitcases.
Hi there, sir. Are you travelling alone?
Yeah.
Just a quick X-ray of your bags, please. Where are you travelling from? X-ray your bags this way, please.
Az starts with some simple questions.
These all your bags?
Yeah.
All right. Have you ever been stopped by customs before? Have you ever been stopped by customs before? All right. The way to do it is by answering the questions, all right? Okay. Well, you're going to have to answer them. Go round and bring your bags over to the bench, please.
Officers often face angry passengers, and the man seems annoyed at being stopped.
Excuse me? Well, if you grab the suitcase, then come over to the bench, all right?
The man's already angry, but things are only going to get worse when he finds out Az will be seizing all his cigarettes. In Dover, officers have stopped 2 Bulgarian lorries. Each driver is allowed only 200 cigarettes, but a quick search found over 1,000 in one of the cabs. Suspecting they're hiding more, both lorries will now be searched.
This one over here is the one that she's got the cigarettes. He's got his girlfriend with him. Because we're travelling together, same company, we're going to do this one as well. Because this guy over here, he declared no cigarettes either, just some cigars. How good is your English?
This man lied about not having any cigarettes. The other lorry driver is adamant he doesn't have any.
Chef, how many is in here? In here? Cigarettes, how many?
No cigarettes.
Sure?
No cigarette. I'm promise. No cigarette.
But when you know where to look, the driver's lie is easily exposed.
What have we got here then? Big Jake?
Says it's got 40 cartons.
14? Same place? Oh no. Oh, that's the result then.
Stuffed into the cab lining are over 3,000 cigarettes. With massive profits to be made, drivers use every available space to hide cigarettes.
He's already lied once. He said he had no cigarettes at all. You see, we found 15 cartons of each carton's got 200, so that's 3,000 in total. You know, he's lied once, so we'll continue our search of the cab unit to see if there's any more cigarettes in there.
But some of this man's efforts to hide his cigarettes are laughable.
Have you got any more in here yet?
I'm on the front, I took all the ones at the front.
Yeah.
Lifted up the bunk and it's got a rubbish concealment, proper rubbish.
Is it?
It's just like little green plastic over it, something like that.
So there is more fags in there? Brilliant.
The officers suspect he's used the hidey hole before.
Oh dear.
Basically, all the food across the top, just that green plastic on top. Take that off, just green plastic and cigarettes underneath. Very simple. Not very complicated. He just relied that he doesn't get stopped. And that's what he's got there.
With both lorry drivers having lied about not carrying any cigarettes, officers will be imposing a strict punishment.
But because he's used the unit to smuggle the cigarettes in, then as a punishment, he'll lose the cab unit. The only way you can get the cab unit back is he'll have to incur a fine. How we come to the figure of the fine is we work out how many cigarettes he's got, add them all up, and then we work out the duty on these cigarettes, what the duty would be equivalent in the UK.
For the drivers, it's an expensive lesson. And it doesn't go down well. Back in Manchester, Officer Az is also dealing with strong language from his feisty passenger.
Do you have any photo ID travel documents?
Yeah, I do.
Can I see them, please? Can I see them? How long were you away for?
2 months.
All right. What was the purpose of your visit?
Family,
I'm sorry?
family business, isn't it?
Okay. I'm going to look inside your bags. Did you pack everything yourself?
Yeah, no, my uncle's.
Do you know what's inside the bags?
Clothes, isn't it?
All right. Has your uncle's packed it?
Yeah.
All right. Do you understand you can't bring any controlled drugs, indecent, obscene material, firearms into the country?
Yeah.
Do you know what your allowance for cigarettes are?
Huh?
Do you know what your allowance for cigarettes are?
Well, just do your job, mate.
Do you know what your allowance are?
Go on.
Have you got any cigarettes in here?
Yeah, I've got cigarettes in there.
How many have you got?
Tuna.
A tonner?
Yeah, tuna.
What's it, 20?
Yeah.
All right. Your allowance is only 200, okay? So you've got 20 sleeves. It's too many, okay?
Oh.
Yeah.
Suddenly, the man's mood changes.
Do you work at the moment? Excuse me.
Yeah, tell him to me
Look,
why is
look.
the camera on my face?
I'm going to do these bags,
yeah,
okay?
Tell the guy's a little
Right, well, there's no need to be like that.
Tell him to move then.
All right.
Move the camera over the stand.
Seeing this here?
With the passenger getting aggressive, Officer Gary steps in.
What do I do now?
Do you want to read it here?
Yeah, go on, read
You
it.
threaten or intimidate the staff,
Yeah.
you could be arrested.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So you carry on like that and you find yourself in a
Yeah.
cell.
All right, mate, no
So
problem.
you keep your mouth shut and they're going with this, okay?
He was quite obstructive. He's not, I wouldn't say he's an easy passenger. He was quite obstructive.
Oh, so how much are you allowed? 200 or 400?
200. But because you haven't declared them,
200.
you won't be... Yeah, that's right.
But the man won't be leaving with his allowance.
You go over 200, you lose everything.
Yeah.
Once you exceed your allowance, you lose the right to an allowance. So therefore, today you'll be going home with no cigarettes. Do you understand that? No, that won't be going back.
What?
I just
Well,
explained.
out 200 or that's 200.
I just explained it to you.
That's 200.
Once you exceed your allowance, you lose the right.
Everything.
If you let me finish, you
What a
lose.
radio story.
The man has exceeded his allowance by 5,000 cigarettes. He's not best pleased he'll be leaving with none.
5, 10, 15, 25, 26.
26 sleeves.
26 sleeves.
Yeah?
Yeah. All right, now, what I'm going to do, okay,
What you're going to do is what you're going to do.
I'm going to get some paperwork sorted out for you and get you going, all right?
Keep happy, mate. Be happy on that.
All right.
Az tries to educate the passenger so he doesn't make the same mistake again.
This is a receipt to say I've seized 5,200 cigarettes, yeah? I'm also giving you a warning letter. Remember about bringing in large amounts of cigarettes. Here's a copy for your records. This is, hang on, I haven't finished yet, your copy yet. Bit premature there. That's for you, the original. Here, listen.
Come on.
You keep going away.
What do I need that for?
This is information about what you bring in, and there's a right to appeal as well. If you wait 2 minutes, you can get that as well.
The man is eager to leave.
Thanks for your time.
But if he doesn't want cigarettes seized from him again, he'll need to watch his step.
We get all kinds of people with all kinds of moods. Some people are quite happy and quite welcoming to our customs officer. Unfortunately, this wasn't one of them passengers, you know.
In Dover, the drivers who swore they had no cigarettes have been well and truly found out.
No cigarette. And chef in here, no cigarettes?
No cigarette. I'm promise. I'm promise.
No thanks.
In all, officers find more than 10,000 cigarettes in this devious driver's cabin.
This is the trouble. Sometimes it can be quite a long, convoluted process because you have got to literally check everywhere. You can't rely on the drivers necessarily to tell you the truth at any point, which is a shame. But obviously, if we did start believing people, we probably wouldn't find it. So.
Smuggling cigarettes is a serious crime, and both drivers must now pay the UK duty on the entire amount. If not, their lorries will be seized and they'll be walking home. The first driver is forced to pay nearly £1,000 on the spot.
One of the vehicles has been successfully restored for £985. The other driver can't afford to pay. He says he's going to pay tomorrow, so therefore it's seized, stays in our care until he's paid. Simple as that.
When it comes to cigarette smuggling, officers don't mess around. The man will leave with no cigarettes and no lorry. The cash-strapped driver asked for a lift whilst making a desperate call to the bank. After a cosy night together, he's vowed to return in the morning to pay off his £1,800 fine. The Bulgarian lorry driver did return the following day to pay off his fine. He was given his lorry back and a stern warning. At Gatwick, a British Airways flight has just touched down from St Lucia. In the last few weeks, cocaine seizures from St Lucia have skyrocketed, and border officers have intensified efforts to make sure no smugglers slip through the net. As the passengers disembark, the officers are on the lookout for anyone who fits the many profiles of a smuggler. Drug dog Megan is a vital tool for finding smugglers.
Just keep on the right-hand side. Take your bag off your shoulders, please, sir.
Sometimes just the presence of a dog can make nervous smugglers give themselves away. Hazel notices the man in the white collared shirt.
There was one person who he wasn't making eye contact with anybody because I spoke directly to him. So we'll have a quick word with him when he comes into the baggage hall and see if he's got anything. Oh, he's just in the queue there. He looked nervous.
And he's all dressed up.
Yeah.
The passenger appears uneasy as the sniffer dog examines his cases. But Megan doesn't give a definite indication. With their suspicions aroused, they decide to question him anyway.
Hello there, sir. Are you travelling alone today? Yeah. Can you just bring your bag over to the bench for me, please? Can I see your passport and ticket, please, sir? And how long have you been away for this trip?
A week.
And what was the purpose of your
Vacation. Either Jamaica or Trinidad.
Were you staying with friends over there or family or?
I met a girl the last time I went to a cricket match there.
Oh, right, so there's people you don't know over there? Yeah. Okay. And how long are you going to remain in the UK before you go back to Bermuda? 2 days.
I usually do some shopping.
Yeah. Okay. Have you got your return ticket back to Bermuda?
Actually, I have to try this.
You've still got to get that, have you?
I have a bank card this morning.
Yeah, not a problem. And whereabouts will you be staying while you're here in the UK?
I was going to go to a bed and breakfast up on Shepherd's Avenue. I usually go there. I don't know the exact name of it, but it's right after the police station on Shepherd's Bush.
So you've stayed there before, have you?
Yeah.
Okay. And you packed all the bags yourself?
Yeah.
And you're aware of the contents?
Yeah.
Has anybody given you anything to bring back to the UK?
No, sir.
You're not carrying anything for anyone?
No.
Okay.
Inside the suitcase, Gary spots a large number of shoes for such a short trip and decides to examine them closely.
All I'm doing here, I'm just x-raying the shoes to make sure there's no concealments in it. Ash.
The X-ray immediately finds an anomaly. The other officers are also convinced the shoes are hiding something.
That don't look right there. That difference in the
Yeah, but these other ones
density.
look even better.
But there's only one way to find out what's inside.
I don't want him to do it.
All right, lovely.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, we pulled it open and there's a package inside the seal.
It's game over for this attempted importation.
Okay.
And what looks like another big haul of cocaine from St Lucia.
Right, the time is 09:16 hours, and what I found in there, it looks like I found a controlled drug, okay? So I'm arresting you on suspicion of the illegal importation of a controlled drug into the UK.
Under arrest, the man is transferred to the custody cells.
Okay, that's fine. Just pop round here again. I intercepted him in the Green Channel. A number of items of footwear have been found to have packages inside.
Do you understand that what the officers told me?
Yeah.
So you've been arrested purely on suspicion of importing a controlled drug into the UK? Understood? And any medication for anything? Nothing in your luggage for your medication weight?
Just some leg lifting stuff.
Bodybuilder, eh?
Well, I'm trying to be. I was trying to be.
The man seems to accept that the only thing he'll be exercising is his right to legal advice.
Okay, if you just come along with me. Yeah, if you could just remove your shoes and leave them outside, because obviously it's got the laces in it. The last thing we want is you to try and harm yourself with them.
And the officers are now about to discover just how much cocaine is hidden in the shoes. In Manchester, officers are dealing with a difficult customer.
You might want to just go and stand with Liz. Martin's in there as well. It's just the bloke who stopped us a bit arsey. I don't know whether there's anyone else in there, that's all.
The passenger has returned from the Caribbean.
I've still got the keys outside.
It's a known source of cocaine.
Yeah, but why can't I tell her to come inside?
But he isn't making things easy for Liz.
Why did she go out before you?
Because I'm not asking you, I'm not answering your questions. Do your search. If you find anything, lock me up. If you don't find out, you're a bullshit.
The man can't believe he's a suspect, but he also can't seem to read the signs.
You're not going to believe this.
Excuse me, I've told you you can't use your phone. Excuse me, I've told you you can't use your phone. Excuse me. She can't come inside.
Liz had a number of reasons for stopping the passenger, but now it's his behaviour that's causing the most concern.
You're going to pack them back up, yeah?
I am going to pack them.
Pack them back up properly, yeah?
I will pack them.
With the man getting more aggressive, the other officers keep an eye on the situation.
And because you're on TV, you think you're a professional, it's stupid. You're going to watch this thing all the time. What do you call it? Australian border.
The man seems confused about what country he's in. Meanwhile, Liz attempts to continue her search.
Can you get your dog?
The dog doesn't find everything. I'm not just looking for drugs. I'm looking for anything else you shouldn't have.
Like what?
Like weapons,
Oh,
cigarettes.
shut up.
Okay, what I'm doing now, we've got a machine that tests for traces of drugs. Have you ever used or been in contact with drugs?
I said, no, you've asked me the question already. I don't take drugs.
Right, okay, that's fine then.
Do your little swabs, whatever you want to do.
The man then accuses the officers of racism.
You always say it's random, it's bullshit. Like the guy on TV, you're all racist. That's what it is. Stupid, it is racist. I didn't see one white person get stopped. No, but it has to be me in it. It's weird, that, isn't it?
We've stopped other people on this flight already today.
No, whatever.
You can believe me or not.
Don't believe you anyway.
No.
But it turns out the passenger has a reason for being annoyed at the delay.
This is taking the Why today? Do you know what day is today? My birthday. That's why I'm really off. I'm just gonna go home, enjoy my 21st, just like every other 21-year-old on the birthday, but to get stopped by custom on your birthday. Any other day, I'm not be bothered.
Okay.
With the search over, the man decides to push his luck.
If you don't find what you're looking for, since you can't reimburse me for my taxi costs, I'd like an apology, a verbal apology. Is that okay? Is that much to ask?
I'm sorry if I'm wasting your time.
That's fine. Obviously it's not a good day because my birthday, what a shame, but you haven't found anything, so that's it really. It's annoying when you get picked up, but it's one of those things. On purpose.
Finally, Liz and the man seem to agree on something.
I am not doing 5-10 years for drugs. It's just not worth it. I'd rather just work like everybody else.
Some people do, unfortunately.
As the innocent passenger heads off, in Gatwick, the man caught with cocaine concealed in his shoes isn't so lucky.
Contemplating his fate.
It's sad, isn't it?
I don't know if sad's the right word. I never judge people. I think I can't judge them for what they do. I don't know what's led them to do what they've done. I don't agree with people bringing drugs into the country. I can never condone that, but I can't judge the person.
Hazel and Mike examine all the shoes for drugs.
And you can just see where somebody's inserted a tool into the side to prise the sole off the main part of the shoe. There's little indentations that just would arouse your suspicion and just make you think that they'd been taken apart previously. Did you notice that on there?
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought see any glue.
Oh look, there's glue on this one. That's giving it away there. Look. That one's done really well. Just see the glue mark.
The concealments are sophisticated, but now the custody officer wants to know exactly what's inside the packages.
That was really annoying. You see a pair of shoes like that with a take-back package in the bottom and white powder in it, and they still insist, everyone goes, have you tested it, have you tested it?
Yeah.
It's like, you don't have to, do you? You know it's something dodgy.
Okay. Put a drop of it in there. And that's the blue-pink reaction you're looking for, according to this. Pink on the top, blue underneath, that's cocaine. It's definitely cocaine.
Will you tell the custody officer it's positive?
I will do.
With 200 grams of cocaine in each shoe, in all the man was charged with importing nearly 2 kilos of cocaine, worth around £80,000. Coming up, Hazel stops a suspected drug mule.
Okay, but why would he pay for your flight ticket to England?
Because I wanted to come up and get the experience.
I want to go to the Caribbean, but nobody will buy me a ticket.
In Manchester, the Jamaica flight has just landed. Inside the terminal, sniffer dog Floyd is on duty with his handler Susie. The dog team have been called in by Border Officer Martin to examine passengers as soon as they leave the aircraft, giving smugglers no time to ditch their drugs when they see the dog. Floyd is trained to indicate if he picks up even the tiniest trace of drugs. But this man with the red bag sends Floyd's signals into a frenzy. Martin heads into the baggage hall to intercept the suspect after he's collected his bags.
I was doing the air bridge with a dog and I have never seen an indication like it.
Really?
Floyd was humping his leg and I've never seen a hit like it, mate.
The man is travelling with a woman who suspiciously headed straight for the toilets.
The woman attempted to go into the toilets in the baggage area. Female officers accompanied her in there and explained the situation to her as well. She's now with the female officers in our baggage search area.
The suspects have split, but officers are keeping their distance from the man they think is carrying drugs.
Because of the strong indication by the dog, we are concerned that he's aware that we have an interest in him and he may attempt to ditch any items he's got strapped to his body. For that reason, we would not let him go to the toilets by himself.
The suspect begins walking towards the exit, but then makes a break for the toilets.
Excuse me, mate. Excuse me, pal. Just wait a second, please, mate. Come over here, mate. What's actually happened? You know, because the dog showed interest on you. You saw the dog come around to you.
Yes.
Obviously, I'm not saying you have, not saying you haven't, but obviously we have to be sure before you go in the toilet you haven't got anything strapped to you, okay, mate?
After a string of recent drug jobs from the Caribbean and the strength of the dog indication, the officers are almost convinced the man is carrying drugs. In Gatwick, border officers are also on the lookout for a passenger who's just arrived from Jamaica. The intelligence unit have picked out the passenger as she fits a number of suspicious profiles.
We found her. She was very skinny. She's in blue patchy jeans. She's got a white top and a black handbag.
Hazel's team watch the suspect as she collects her bag and tries to leave.
Hello there, Customs. Where have you just arrived from?
Jamaica.
From Jamaica. Just bring your bags around here for me for a minute, please.
All Hazel knows is the intel team picked out the suspect. It's her job to investigate further.
Got your passport, please?
The woman has a British passport,
Thank you.
so Hazel starts with questions about her trip.
How long have you been to Jamaica for?
Repeat that, please.
Pardon?
Repeat that, please.
Oh, how long have you been to Jamaica for?
I've been living here for a while.
Oh,
This
right.
is my first visit here.
Ah, so you live in Jamaica. How long will you stay in England for? And who will you come and see?
My sister.
Do you have a Jamaican passport as well?
No, I don't.
But you live in Jamaica? Right. Did you pay for your flight ticket yourself?
No, I didn't.
Who paid for your ticket?
Someone up here.
Someone up here?
Right.
Who? And who's he?
A friend of mine.
And why did he pay for your ticket?
Because I'm coming up to spend some time with him.
And how do you know him?
I met him through a friend.
And what does do for a job?
I guess we call it self-employed.
Hazel's unconvinced.
When did you last see him?
Earlier this year.
Okay, but why would he pay for your flight ticket to England?
Repeat that, please.
Why would he pay for your flight ticket to England?
Because I wanted to come up and get the experience.
I want to go to the Caribbean, but nobody will buy me a ticket.
Well, I don't know.
No? So you've just got £75? So who will give you money while you're here?
My sister and then...
And your sister does what for a job?
I'm not sure.
You're not sure?
Suspecting she's a drug mule, Hazel presses the woman further.
So what will you do while you're here in England?
I'm not sure.
Is there anything in particular that you want to see while you're here?
They do a lot of sightseeing.
Yeah, things like what? So what sorts of things will you do while you're here?
I'm not too sure. It depends on what I can do by myself because I don't know the place. So.
Have you not done any research into England?
No.
And how are you eligible for a British passport?
My mother is British.
And does she live in England?
Well, she's not here at the moment. She's in Jamaica.
So who is it you live with?
I have parents.
So you live with your mum?
No, I live with my brother.
You live with your brother? Mm-hmm. Right, okay.
That's a body spray.
It is? But it's a man's one. Why have you got man's body spray?
I like it.
The suspect's story is ringing alarm bells.
I'm just going to do a few checks, okay? If you just stay here for a few minutes.
Hazel decides to investigate the woman's acquaintance with the unusual name.
I just want to do a few checks on... Oh, good morning. I'd like a PNC check and an address check, please. Yeah, I don't think I've come across one before, so you might hit on something. The person that she says has bought her ticket, she doesn't know anything about him. She doesn't know how old he is. She's only known him for a year. I'm not entirely sure why he would pay for her ticket. People I've known longer than that won't buy me a ticket to the Caribbean, so I want to know why he's paid for her ticket.
The officers keep a close eye on the lady while they await the result of the police checks on the man who paid for her trip. Back in Manchester, the team are also on high alert after a powerful dog indication. Certain they'd caught a smuggler, the team pounced, but as they walk to collect his bags, the man gives Kevin some information that changes the mood.
A nice one. One? $49,500. One? Oh, excellent. Online or? Online. Yeah, brilliant, mate.
It's a disappointment for the team, but contact with so much cash would explain the dog's excitement.
High to low. Roller coaster morning already. And you got money belt on as well? It could well be that, you see, mate, because the dogs are trained on cash as well as drugs.
Yeah, you have so close with the dogs, couldn't you go in?
It's got $1,000.
So that might explain
why.
Wait.
The officers search the poker winner to verify his story, but there's no pleasing some people.
£30,000, a lot of money.
Yeah.
I was a bit disappointed, 2 weeks later.
Didn't competition, but I was trying to win it again.
At least you won it, though.
Yeah.
The man is free to go, but first officers ask a favour. They want to let sniffer dog Floyd re-find the man's money belt and get his well-earned reward.
Put it back, and you're just helping us out then. Helping with the training the dogs, and because obviously that's what the dogs indicates, so it's done his job well there.
Floyd quickly locates the cash in the man's belt. But this time, it's just for training.
I was quite relaxed because I had nothing to hide. We went to Jamaica on holiday, but we weren't planning on going holiday this year. We were planning to do a back garden up, and I split the money between the guy for the Ukraine. We had $50,000 each, roughly. And the next week we went in and booked our holiday to Jamaica. It was absolutely brilliant. And we went over there and we had a great time. Totally relaxing.
Celebrated our 6th year
wedding
anniversary.
celebrated our 6th wedding anniversary as well.
Last Saturday.
The lucky couple leave with the winnings, but sadly the officers didn't hit the jackpot.
Hold on. Good lad. Best indication ever, mate.
Back in Gatwick's South Terminal, border officers are in the middle of questioning an intelligence target whose story aroused suspicions when it emerged her ticket had been bought for her. Suspecting she may be a drug mule, Hazel is investigating the person who paid for the ticket.
Oh, right, OK. He was found guilty in 2007 of helping an asylum seeker. He got 9 months in prison, but he was born in 1949 and she doesn't seem to know how old this bloke is. And she's clearly not an asylum seeker because she's got a British passport. Right, OK, well, thanks very much for your help. Thanks a lot then. Bye. The only thing we've got then is that he has been convicted of helping an asylum seeker, but clearly that's not her concern because she's got a British passport.
It's surprising news.
Sorry to keep you waiting, it was just taking some time to do some checks.
But an exhaustive drug search found nothing.
It's fine. OK, well that's fine. Thank you very much for your time.
Okay.
Enjoy your stay in England. Thank you.
To win the war on drugs, border officers must investigate any suspicious passengers. But thankfully, most are innocent and are free to go. The smuggler caught with cocaine hidden in shoes pleaded guilty and was sentenced to 5 years in prison.